I have lived in New England most of my life, and I can't say I've done the one thing that millions of people from around the world come to see. So by the title of the video, you can guess I finally planned a fall road trip with my buddies Eli and Kobe. The plan was simple. We were going to spend the next 6 days driving through Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont, with some camping, hiking, and backpacking in between. The first 2 days we spent in one of my favorite places on earth. After coming back to Acadia almost every year since 2020, you'd think I'd have already seen it all, but coming in the fall offered a whole new experience, and I was loving every bit of it. For Kobe, it was his first time up to the Northeast, and I could tell he was having a blast, with the exception of him almost dying the first hour there. My favorite part of every trip to Acadia is, of course, sunrise. It's about 5 in the morning right now, and me, Kobe, and Eli hiked to one of my favorite spots at Acadia, and you can just hear how loud the water is right now. I know it's too dark and you can't see, but I'm on like a 100-foot cliff right now, and it is so sick. After the first 2 days, we made our way further up the coast of Maine and went backpacking. None of us had been backpacking before, so we were really excited to come to this spot. It was around 5 miles down and back, mostly on the coast. It was hiking paradise, and we got to camp directly on the beach by ourselves. After our backpacking trip, we drove west to New Hampshire and spent the night in the car. The whole next day we spent in the White Mountain National Forest, and we ended up spending basically the whole day climbing up this waterfall. This was definitely the most beautiful foliage we had seen so far. The mountains were golden with all of the leaves turning, and it almost looked fake. Towards the end of the day, we drove through a scenic byway and made our way to the rest stop in central Vermont. This is our second night in the car and last night of the trip. So we're gonna get some sleep, and then tomorrow we're gonna drive through Vermont and hopefully get some apple cider and explore a bit, and then make our way home. The last day of our trip, we took the famous Route 100 through Vermont and just took in the views while we made our way back home. I didn't end up filming that much because, as much as I love to film and create videos, it's always good to put the camera down and just enjoy the moment without it. I was also driving, so there's that. In conclusion, I was just super thankful that everything went so well on this trip, and it really just gave me a new perspective of New England, and which is where I've lived most of my life, and I definitely recommend making a road trip out to the Northeast. It's beautiful pretty much everywhere you go during the fall. So the video's done now. Goodbye.